Hey man, welcome back to the Brick Propaganda Wrestling Podcast Network, man. As I always say, man, it's always a great time to be a wrestling fan, man. There's been a lot going on in the wrestling world. Of course, man, you just gotta go with the times, man. With that being said, man, wow, I got a special guest in the building. Been watching him for a minute. He doing his thing, and definitely had to get him on the show ASAP. Without further ado, man, let me introduce y'all to our guest today. He is the executive decision.
Yes, sir.
Quentin Wynters, man.
I mean,
hey, man.
what an intro. Appreciate you, Brody.
Thank you, man. Wow, man.
What an intro.
Hey, man, like I told you outside of the podcast, man, the executive decision, man, that's one of the hardest names I've heard in a long time, bro.
You, bro.
Like that, I don't think nobody beating that right now, bro.
Nah, I mean, emphasis on the executive decision. Like, even this whole journey, my whole wrestling journey, and me even just getting to this point.
Yeah.
Everything, every strategic move, I'm kind of playing chess in this game, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
It's every decision I make is an executive decision. You know what I mean? It's just what got me here so far. You know, I've been blessed to be put in a position to, you know, showcase my talents, showcase my abilities to entertain, just uplift people, and it's a blessing. So it hasn't steered me no other way so far. So
yeah. Like when I started to get the dictionary to look up the meaning of executive decision, bro.
Hey, that's a true researcher. I appreciate you, bro.
I was like, man, that's standing on business right there, man.
Tapped in the Webster Dictionary.
Oh man, that's standing on business. But yeah, man, let's dive into this journey that got you here, man. So how do we get here to be is it something, you know, that just caught your eye about wrestling and everything like that? Like, how do we get here? Because, like I told you, when I first saw you, I was like, man, he looked like he should be in the NBA or the NFL, man.
Facts.
I mean, bro, y'all got to see him in real life. That's all I'm gonna say, man.
It's crazy because I'm still trying to figure out how I got here. Like, it's all happened in a blur. Like, I went to my first indie show 2 years ago.
Oh,
like I didn't even.
Yeah.
The life of an independent wrestler was something I was just completely ignorant to.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know much about. I was always a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
My earliest memory was the Undertaker's entrance. I seen that and it was just like I didn't want to turn the channel because it was like, come on now.
Yeah.
It's prime Undertaker world champion towards the end of his career. And eventually, you know, as the years have progressed and I started getting into sports, getting into, you know, figuring myself out as a young man. Just didn't watch it as much around high school and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I always kept my eye on the product. But I was growing up athlete, all-state basketball player.
Yeah.
Played 4 years of college basketball. So like I was already an athlete, but just a wrestling fan. I didn't really, you know. Because how do you get into wrestling?
Exactly,
like,
exactly, man. How do you?
What is like? I just always grew up a fan. I always appreciated the product. Was real critical about it from a young age, just because I was one of my first loves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, eventually, I want to say around 3 years ago, basketball ended up dwindling down. You know, I wasn't really sure what my next move was.
Yeah,
didn't really care. I just, you know, played college basketball. Really wanted to get the most out of my 4 years, my education, whatever.
Yeah.
Obviously held myself to standards of athlete, working out, training, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Staying disciplined in the grind. But like you said, how do we get here? Like,
yeah.
Distant and win.
Yeah, you went from college basketball to wrestling. But I don't want to. I want to give you your flowers while we're here. Back to your college career.
Yeah.
Could you let the people know what college you went to and what position? And is there anything particular throughout your college career that you're proud of for as basketball?
Yeah. My freshman year, I went to Keene State College and then transferred home to Eastern Connecticut State University. And you repeat your question? I'm sorry.
I was asking what position did you play?
Yeah, so I was a forward, an undersized forward. I was 6'5" on the block. Imagine that. But I was really proud of the fact that through my college career, I was always looked at as a leader.
Mm-hmm.
And through my college career, you know, I had my career. Like,
Yeah,
I
for
had
sure.
4 years. I was a captain. You know, I had 30-point games, 20-point rebound games.
Yeah.
Like, the statistics were there. Never ended up winning a chip, but high school I did.
Hey, that counts.
High school, that counts for something.
That counts.
But my collegiate career, I'm definitely most proud of the fact that I'm one of the few college basketball players I knew that came out of my area.
Yeah.
And the fact that, you know, I stuck with the grind, that I gained some relationships that will stick with me forever.
Yeah.
I had fun playing the game that I grew up loving. Ball was life for a minute for me. So, like, high school me, freshman year me, sophomore year me would have been so proud of myself.
Yeah.
And I'm just really accomplished. Like, I'm really proud of the fact that, you know, I even had a career in the first place and shaped me, molded me into who I am today.
Man, that's big because, you know, a lot of people can't handle everything that comes with college. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of pressure. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
like,
I was working part-time jobs while in college, playing basketball.
Man,
with an internship.
I did. Man, I did one semester of college and I couldn't go back, bro.
Man, it's one thing. School is not for everybody.
It's not.
I don't knock any. I was from one of the blessed few that I know to pursue higher education, but like, it's not for everybody. It's just a different type. It's a different type.
Yeah, it is, man. I ain't gonna lie to you though. I'm proud of my semester because, I mean, I passed. I mean, I passed that semester,
Come on,
man.
now.
You know, but it was a lot, man. Like, I couldn't, man. I regret it a little bit, but
hey, look where you at.
Look around that too, man. Yeah,
come on now. Your blessings are right in front of you. And you can't live in regret like that. But hey, like I said, it's not for the lighthearted. It's, feel me. It definitely.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I definitely recommend college, but it comes with some
it comes with it
trials and tribulations
for sure. So after your college career, I know you were originally from Connecticut. Yeah. How do we get to Connecticut to Houston, Texas?
Man, so like I said, around 2022, I was entering my senior year of college, and it was time to like, all right, what's next year looking like? What's next summer looking like? Like, we don't, you know, you handed in your degree application, like, what are we doing? I remember that summer, I really just wanted to get away from the game a little bit of basketball because I had to figure it out. Like, I needed to tap more into me. I went on a real crazy spiritual journey relating to wrestling, right?
Yeah.
Went on this crazy spiritual journey, whatever, and it led me to connecting back with family a lot more.
Yeah, for sure.
And one of the people I connected a lot back with was my cousin, who was an indie wrestler on the scene. He an indie wrestler in the Northeast, Trayvon Jordan from Ways and Curls. That's my cousin. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go check cuz. I'm a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me go, feel me, show some love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because indie wrestlers, from what I hear, you know, WWE, sign talent, like the indie grind is real.
Yeah,
so
it is.
I already knew that going in. So I was like, let me see my guy, check him out, whatever, right? As I'm watching the show, I'm not really seeing like, you know how people say they're wrestlers and then there's attractions?
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot of attractions at the show. It was a handful, and I'm just watching, observing, looking at the showmanship, looking at the crowd, gestures that I do during basketball. I'm like, hold on. Like, there's a little light bulb went off.
Yeah.
Because I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
I'm watching 12-year-old kids enjoy themselves. Mind you, it's like 50 of us in there. But like, I'm having a good time. So then a light bulb went off. So I remember that show, I did one of these to the mats just to feel me.
Oh.
I was like, let me tug on the ropes, get a feel for it, whatever. I'm like, I think I might want to do this. Just off of that show alone, just because I never seen anybody do it. But watching my cousin in there, I'm like, it makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Because with basketball, in general, like, you got showmanship. You know, you hit it through, you kiss in the air. I done dunked on people and, feel me, damn near spit flying everywhere. Like, feel me? It's a show in itself. So I remember that summer, to answer your question, how we got to Houston, really on my grind and kind of studying the business a lot.
Yeah.
Listening to different podcasts, listening to different seminars, listening to just different wrestlers talk about the business.
Yeah.
And I came across Booker's. Had no clue he had a podcast. I'm just scrolling through my podcast, my Spotify wrestling playlist. I'm like, oh, Booker T got a podcast. And if you know anything about or listen to his podcast or whatever, you know first thing he gonna do is promote him some reality wrestling.
Oh, for sure.
First, he gonna hop up there, tell you the whole itinerary.
Yeah.
So, I'm listening to this every shift, mind you. I was a cook at a bar right on the corner of my campus. So most of my nights was in there picking up some extra money, listening to wrestling podcasts, soaking in knowledge about the business and soaking in, finding out that most of them came from collegiate athletics, all that good stuff. And I'm like, Houston, like, you know what I mean? I ain't never been out here really like that before. Like, what's
out here?
What's out here?
Yeah.
So I took my spring break down here that summer. Took a peek at the old school that they were at prior.
Yeah.
Went back home. Got accepted to UH. I'm like, pfft.
Yeah, you.
What else is? What else is like? I'd be stupid not to come down here at that point. So, like I said, it could have been anything. Like family's back home. Got a great support system down here, but it was the uncomfortable move. I think it's paying off.
Yeah, it's definitely paying off, man. Because me seeing you in the ring, where you got it. You got it.
I appreciate that, bro.
You got it. Wow. So once you get to the school, what was your first thought and any expectations?
I had high expectations because look who was run by. You know what I mean? And then back to me just doing research, it was already a fan base. Like reality wrestling.
They got a heavy fan base.
You know what I mean? I came here when the first week we got in the new building. So whatever happened prior was, already a built-up legacy by some Texas legends.
Because I know last year, man, their Summer of Champions was at a different building. I think it was the Humble Civic Center.
I got there the week after.
And, bro, it was lit. It was the line was wrapped around the corner. It was packed. I mean, I think there was like a record set that day.
Wow.
Summer of Champions.
I hear about it almost every month.
Yeah.
Every month leading to this one, I just kept hearing about it.
Yeah, man. So, so you said you had high expectations, huh?
High expectations.
Any nervousness, jitters? I mean, I guess that's like normal, you know what I'm saying? Especially when it's something new and stuff like that. So once you got there, how did you adapt to what they got going on?
I just had to put my pride aside because just realizing that you entering something that is completely foreign to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, even I tried to, in general, just make sure I was the most prepared coming down here. You know what I mean? Going to different wrestling promotions in the north just to make sure my rolls is tight. You know what I mean? All that other stuff. But like making sure basics and all that so I could come down here. You know what I mean? Establish connections, do what I got to do, and then I got here and was like, whoa. I had a couple nights in the car where I was just like, why did I come back? Just like, why did I come down? Like, is this really what I want to do? You know what I mean? But I had high expectations. Maybe should have set them a little higher. But like, it's
kind of, you know what I'm saying? When you got something new like that, you don't know really what to expect, Yeah,
man. I came down here, they tore me to shreds. In terms of just like where my work ethic was to how it had to completely shift to this now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, wrestling is an art form that takes decades to master. You feel me? So I'm starting at the basics month one there, and it's like, dang, I suck already? Like, you feel me? I'm like, I'm this bad? I thought did what it's just, reality wrestling is a different beast in terms of just preparation, detail. They're always going to humble you. They're not going to sugarcoat. If you're doing good, they're going to tell you what you need to be doing better.
Yeah.
And then when you get good at that or better at that, then it's
always something though.
Always something.
Yeah.
You know that toy where like you open one and then another one
comes out.
Like, but that's how passionate and just detailed Booker is about the business, all the coaches there.
Yeah.
You know, it's a machine, man.
For sure, it's a machine, man. The thing that I like about the new building is the first thing that pops out to me is that it kind of reminds you of the performance center that WWE has. That look, the lighting is super quality. Just overall, man, it gives it that look. They got the banners,
aura.
You know, yeah.
You walk in that building, you just feel the aura.
Yeah, you can feel it for sure. Let's talk about the professionalism of reality of wrestling. I'm starting to see guys and the girls. A couple of them wear suits there, to ring the let me see how I should say it. Their presentation of coming into the building. It's like he's preparing y'all for the higher ups, the professionalism. So how do you feel about the professionalism of reality of wrestling?
I mean, I love it. I love it because it's all they know at reality wrestling is professionalism.
Yeah.
I don't think they know
anything less.
I don't think they know anything. Like, they're held to just a different standard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just the staff in general. It's nothing but high class professionalism. I go in there and learn just off of trash not being picked up. Something so little.
Yeah, something just so little, yeah.
The account, but something so big on top of that. You know what I mean? Or I don't want to give too many examples, but just like being around the roster, being around the vets, being around Booker, being around the production staff, everything is with a purpose.
Yeah.
And if he's not there to serve that purpose, then we got roster spots to fill.
Yeah.
So like everyone there, you can just feel it's a healthy competitive nature, but we all rooting for each other.
Yeah.
But we all want each other's spots at the same time. It's nothing like it reminds me a lot of competing for a spot on the team. Like, you can only really have so many people starting and playing for you.
Yeah.
And we all want the same spot. But on the flip side, it's done in the most professional manner I've seen in my young career. You know, I don't know really, much different.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine.
Yeah. So with the professionalism and everything like that, they got a lot of great veterans there, a lot of great guys and girls there. Shout out to Ryan Davison and huge locker room leader.
Yep.
Let's talk about the locker room for a minute. I think the locker room is legendary. I'm gonna say that.
Facts.
Again, it goes back to the professionalism. I've heard nothing but great things, for us, the locker room, that you can go to kind of anybody to ask for, advice or different things like that, critiques and stuff like that. And even how you said about like the small things of picking up trash and everything like that. I mean, how would you describe it for as that? I mean, I was trying to compare it to something else, but let's just say like the promotion open wrestling.
Yeah, wrestling open.
Yeah, wrestling open. Is there a difference to you for as the locker room, or because our locker rooms are different, you know what I'm saying, and it kind of like with you coming down here and seeing how they do things, you can go up there and kind of do things, and kind of those guys can pick up on that as well. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, and the unique thing about wrestling is that there's just a unique respect for everybody in the entire sport in general.
Yeah, that
most locker rooms you walk into are going to be conducted as such. Like, I've never seen. Personally, like, I hear stories, but like personally, even with like you said, open or reality of wrestling, it's just been top-notch professionalism across all boards, which is cool with the guys and the girls, because it could be completely different. But like, you see reality wrestling, everybody's in slacks, shoes, a collar shirt, ladies in dresses. You know what I mean? Like, we treat it like the art form that it is all across. So. But like, I hear, like I said, stories that is otherwise other places. But the places that I haven't been, like, I've been blessed to have people around me, even in wrestling, that just been able to set a great example of how we're supposed to treat the sport.
Oh yeah, I even saw some of the younger talent, some of the students dressed up like that, and I was like, you know what, that means something. You know what I'm saying? That means something.
This is an occasion.
Yeah,
like, fans are paying to be here. So
exactly.
This is nothing to sleep on.
So, also too, I want to tap into this. So, like I said, you said the art form of wrestling takes, a long time to master, and especially when it comes to your own identity of how you want to present yourself to the world.
Yeah.
How did you come up with who you wanted to be to the wrestling world, and like how you come up with any ideas or move set or things that drive you to come out to be who you want to be for us, the people to see.
Yeah, I mean, that's just gotta just come. This just gotta flow.
Yeah.
Even granted, I've been in the business now only a year and a half, working shows not that long, and things are still slowly evolving. Like, I don't even fully know the kind of man I want to be yet.
Got you.
I'm so young, you know what I mean? Let alone the wrestler. So I feel like y'all just gonna have to come on this ride with me in terms of watching me grow, watching the persona, watching the movesets, watching, you know what I mean? Because it's there, but I'm far from, where I'm going to be next year, and for 5 years from now, 10 years from now. So I would just say, we gonna see. Like, we
just put the seatbelt on and go for the ride.
Yeah, I'm on the ride with y'all. So
yeah.
I mean, we gonna play this out together, like I said, and I appreciate the words of saying, I look like I belong out there.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
The reason why I keep stepping in the ring, I'm doing something right if I'm sitting here. So. I said,
you got to be doing something right when you're able to be on the card. If you get what I'm saying, they just not gonna put any and everybody out there.
That part
just to do. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, you're 100% right.
Yeah. So you gotta always remember, you're doing something right, man.
That's a fact.
You're here.
Even getting on the card, like, I had imposter syndrome with that.
Yeah.
Granted, a lot of people pushed me, and my coaches, and just the overall roster that my time is coming, but. Reality wrestling will humble you
for sure. you know what I think as a fan.
Yeah.
And, as a fan, you always think, what if I became a wrestler? If I was a wrestler, I think about this because I of course, it's being as I like to call myself the wrestling journalist or wrestling meteorologist. I'm on the internet. I'm looking at different talent. I'm looking at different promotions and stuff like that. And I came across this one subject of somebody was saying like about being first on the card. And my whole thing was, as a wrestling fan, I was like, man, if I was first on the card, I said, I'm going to have that mindset that whoever's coming behind me, they're going to have to match what I did. You know what I'm saying? So, and I felt like,
literally,
I wouldn't care where they put me at on the card. When I come out there, whoever's behind me, they're going to have to bring the A game.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, that's just my fan moment.
Nah,
right there,
I mean,
but
it's competitive back there.
Yeah, for sure it's competitive. They got some great guys there, man. Bro, they got Jay Alexander, Josiah.
Yep.
It's a lot, man. Even with the women, man, you got
Powerhouse.
Gigi.
Forces to be reckoned back there.
Promise Braxton, the chosen one. Mia Friday. It's a lot of talent, man, and I even like La Familia,
Powerhouse.
What powerhouse, man? Can't forget about Gaspar, and it's just I can go on and on about their roster. You know what I'm saying? But it's like I said, to be on that card, it means something that you're doing something right, and just having that attitude. So I know. You've been out there. I saw you. You've been in these matches. I think it was like a 6-man tag. I think.
Yeah.
I think a couple battle royals.
Yep.
But I saw you then. But when I did my homework and I saw you at Wrestling Open.
Yeah.
I was like, hold on, man.
I appreciate that, bro.
Man, I think he finding himself, man. That right there.
I appreciate it, bro.
I was like, bro, I love this heel character. I said, that's all the way. And then I was like, well, hold on. I said, man, he had hair last time I saw him. I said, wait a minute. He going all the way with this, man.
Man.
I guess that's us putting the seatbelt on, taking that ride, man.
So.
Man, that was one of my favorite matches of yours, bro.
I appreciate it, bro. But like you said, you just named former champions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like almost every name you said was a former champion.
Yeah.
So like I gotta walk around a locker room with these great people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? and not embarrass the product that we have here and continue to just get better because of what they're,
and
kind of matches they're putting on a monthly basis.
dude, they just had a cage match, bro. The opening.
To open the show. Summer Champions is a cage and
match.
The fans went nuts.
Dude.
You was out there. The fans went nuts. They loved it.
Bro.
So it's one of those things, you walk around that locker room, you see the talent, you see the roster, you see the work that's putting in. It's really iron sharpens iron back there.
For sure.
So even the mentality, I just treated wrestling open like I would a reality wrestling match, or like I would a match in training, or like I would, you know what I mean? Like, the reps I've put in terms of making sure that I am not only prepared for any opponent, but do like you did, turn eyes, become, have others become a believer of the executive decision. Like, this is something that I take very seriously.
Yeah.
Especially the brand that I'm representing.
Yeah.
Especially the brand that I am. I didn't come here to waste my time, respectfully.
Bro, you are definitely climbing up them ranks. Speaking of climbing the ranks, I feel like that you're making your presence known.
Yeah.
Is there any specific title at reality wrestling that you have your eyes on?
The one with gold on it.
That means all of them.
The one with gold on it. All gold, everything, really.
All gold, everything.
I'm not setting standards to myself that I don't think I can obtain. So I'm not going to limit to myself.
Got you.
What I don't have.
I got you.
So
I can see gold.
The one with gold on it.
I can see it. I can see it in the future. And I say this a lot, man. When it comes to getting a championship match and also winning that championship match, knowing that you're gonna be one of the faces of that company representing with that championship belt means a lot.
It means a lot. And pressure makes diamonds or they burst pipes. So
hey,
I can tell you what side I'm siding with for real. Like, I don't take not only being on this roster, but watching how the champions move that have already represented the brand.
Yeah.
Or in general, I'm a real sports nut, so watching how sports champions carry themselves, or like watching the Bradys, the Kobes, the Brons, the Floyd Mayweathers, just the people who are obsessed with how they carry themselves to win championships and to represent, and to, a lot of them, stay loyal to the soil, right? I don't really take that lightly in terms of coming into a brand that is already at a high standard and not having any expectation besides to be the best.
Yeah.
Because if you're not, why do something without the intention of being the best?
Yeah.
You're just wasting your own time and everyone else's. So
for sure.
That's why I said the one with the gold on it, because
gotta get it.
It's a standard.
Oh yeah.
It's a standard.
So my next question is,
yes, sir.
Do you have a favorite match so far that you've been in at Reality Wrestling?
My next one.
Got you.
My next one, bro.
You know what? I've been learning, man. I asked that question. A lot of people say that, man. A lot of people say that. I just had to ask because, again, doing what y'all do ain't easy. You know what I'm saying? And like it's always, wrestling is an art in the ring. You try to be safe as possible, but dominant as possible. You know what I'm saying? And you're in there making music. Is what I like to call it. You're in there making music. The music is flowing, and you got the crowd out there watching you. You know what I'm saying? And the fans, whether they cheer or boo,
right?
You know what I'm saying? You get any kind of feedback from them. That's something. You know what I'm saying? So I just had to ask, did you have any favorite match or moment or something like that?
I say my favorite moment. I can answer that. My favorite moment so far was my debut. For sure.
For sure.
For sure, hands down. Because it's putting the work you put in and to see it be appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because as you said, roster spots, whether it's for 3, 5, 10, 15, 25 minutes, it's a roster spot.
Yeah.
And I got my opportunity to showcase. You know what I mean? That's not something that is taken lightly in my eyes. So when I debuted, it was one of those things like, all right, kid, we see you. Like, show me what you got.
Yeah.
And just to know that there's a belief system there to where it's like, all right, we trust you and believe in you to whatever the case may be. I was on the clock. What was it, 5 minutes? 3 minutes on the clock? Something like that.
You
like,
on the clock.
You know what I mean? Get out there, try to get the job done.
Yeah.
And the fact that I turned heads in that quick amount of time, it gave me the battery in my back that I needed to make sure that the main thing stays the main thing. You know what I mean? Because you
Yeah.
can't get deterred through the process.
Yeah.
Just trying to prove that you belong.
Yeah.
Especially at Row. I don't care who you are. You walk in that building. It's like you got to show. You got to show up.
Nowadays, you don't really know who's gonna show up in that building. And for me to segue on to that, NXT talent has been coming there. I'm not gonna lie, if I was a professional wrestler there, I mean it's already pressure, but that right there, seeing that, oh man. But
I would about pressure though.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Say about pressure.
You're right. And maybe that's just me being a fan.
Yeah.
But I would also try to respectfully go up to those guys and girls and, pick their brains and stuff like that. Have you had opportunities to pick anybody's brain yet?
Man, Summer Champions, Mark Henry was backstage.
Yeah.
And sometimes you don't even have to say too much when you're around a circle of guys like Mark Henry, Booker T, Teddy Long. Who else do we have back there? The Boogeyman.
Yeah, the Boogeyman was back there.
If somebody like a Vic Joseph will pop up, or somebody like just some random Holly. Sometimes you just gotta sit down and listen.
Yeah.
Sit down and listen. Ask questions, of course. Like I've gotten a chance to pick, plenty of people's brains and just soak in knowledge of this business. But a lot of times, the most times that I've learned a lot has just been me sitting down and listening.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? Like that show, I didn't really move from the monitor because I just wanted feedback from everybody.
Gotcha.
Regardless of if they were first on the card, last on the card. Like, it's cool because not only do I get to pick like the signed talents names, the Hall of Famers names, but like, excuse me, not names, the Hall of Famers brains, but even the roster talent we got. Like, it's 20-year vets up there, 15-year vets up there, 10-year. Like, I'm just really starting to pick up, who I am.
Yeah.
These is already established champions. I pick everybody's brain just because you never know who you're going to learn from, and you never know what you're going to learn just by hearing somebody else speak. So I've always been more of a guy to just sit back, listen. But if something, like you said, on the case where I'm back there with Mark Booker, like I just gotta ask, like, what would you have done, or what did you feel me?
Yeah.
In that moment, what did you feel like? What would you have worn? What would you not have done? What have you like? It's cool to hear the answers back.
Yeah.
Because of how seriously they take the business, how microscopic it's cool, man. It's cool being back there. So to answer your question, I got to pick everyone's brain that I got a chance to, whether it's a Hall of Famer or somebody that's been in this game 5 years.
Got you.
I'm a student of the game for real. I'll say that.
For sure. Also, too, what I wanted to get at, I know you said you had a strong support system and everything like that with family and everything like that.
Yeah.
How was it for them to actually see you in the ring, man?
They had to see it to believe it. They had to see it to believe it. Like my first 6-7 months of just wrestling training, I was low with it. I didn't tell anybody where I was going. I would just dip out, lie and say I'm going to work. But I mean, technically I am going to work.
But yeah, I get what you mean.
Get up out of there, boom, go to training, come back. So no one really knew besides like my pops, my mom, and probably my grandmother, but she was just like, okay. Even then, my dad, mom, they were just like, oh, okay, cool. Like, glad you found something you enjoy. And nobody really like believed it till they saw it, just like me.
Yeah.
That's why I said my debut, I just got nothing but positive feedback, which was the complete opposite of what I thought I was gonna get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even being a wrestling fan when I was young, like it's just not popular where I'm from. It's not really. It wasn't cool at the time. Like it was looked at as cool. It was something that I really, really enjoyed and was passionate about. So the fact that when I debuted and everybody just say so much love and sent so much, encouragement, it was really cool. Even moms, like when you put a smile on mom's face,
it means
that means a lot. Pops too, like. Everybody back home, Bridgeport, Connecticut, like they've shown me nothing but love since they found out that, this is what's next. And it's still, even to me, sometimes I'm like, I was at basketball practice 2 years ago. Now I'm taking body slams, giving drop kicks and all this stuff, man. But it's been nothing but love, and that's the cool thing about it too.
You just mentioned giving drop kicks and getting slammed with these bumps, man. And I mean, sometimes y'all be, man, look, I can feel it when y'all hit the mat. These bumps, man, what's one of the worst bumps you've taken so far?
That's a great question. I'll give you two. I'll give you two. I had a match on a breakout show with Ed Stone, and he had suplexed me with so much force, that I just landed right on my ass.
Oh, crap!
You know how you dapped up Ed Stone. That's a
hell yeah.
That's beans and potatoes.
Yeah,
so he's just suplexed me like a.
Wow, time out.
Bro.
Bro, Ed Stone is solid, and you solid too. For him to just do that,
I'm like, bro, there's no way I'm that light.
Bro, I know, bro.
I swore I weighed like 250. That day. That sucked because I'm like, dang, I was a long way down because he's tall too.
Yeah.
So, and just in training, our trainers sometimes just have us do some nothing unsafe or whatever.
Yeah.
But just me being so tall, you know what I mean? A lot of the times we're going over move safely, whatever. But because I'm so tall, my bumps it's a long way down.
Yeah, it's a little extra when you do it.
So it just feels, man, they all suck. Really,
trust me, I know, man.
It's a long way down, brother. But yes, to answer your question, Stones, and it was a couple in training that too much on, but like, yeah, that one. I say.
Yeah, I know it hurts because my other show I do shots and chops where we get chopped by the wrestlers. They all suck. They all suck, and sometimes you gotta pick and choose who you gonna let chop you.
I don't like getting chopped either.
Oh, it sucks so bad. But what's crazy is once it started happening, everybody was like, "Hey, I want to come on the show and I want to chop." I'm like, "Dang, y'all, goodness, y'all gonna kill me." But
I ain't gonna do that to you.
Oh man, the worst.
I ain't gonna do that to you.
Well, I got some.
Who got you the worst?
Oh man, it's like a top 5, bro. Oh man. Whew, I think number 1, man, is gonna be Bo Amir. Big Bo Amir. He double hand me. And
I don't even know why you agreed to do that. Bo Amir, you got chopped by Bo Amir.
Bo Amir, that's whew, I ain't gonna lie to you, that was one of the worst. When I got oh man, that was by he gonna kill me for not thinking of his name off the top of my head, but oh man, he in AAPW. He hit me and it sounded like a car crash. And then I got hit by Jay Davis. But I think outside of that, the worst one was Brick Savage. That dude there is.
Oh man, woo. Like smacking a bag of rice.
Oh man, never again. It was a moment. I lived that moment. Never again. That was. Dang. That was it. But I mean,
Savage got you.
Oh yeah, it's. Whoo! I might have to send that video to you.
Nah, yeah, I got to see that.
That was. But you know what? Outside of getting hit and chopped though, man, it's cool. I love it. I love interacting with y'all and talking to y'all and seeing y'all's story and where y'all want to go in life and everything like that. I'm truly a wrestling fan. As I always say,
facts, man.
I look at all wrestling from the major leagues to the indies and even some death matches, depending on what it is. But I look at pretty much everything, even overseas, you know what I'm saying? Like, in Noah, New Japan, and all the other promotions is over there. Even the ones that's I think it's all women's wrestling over there, I think, in Japan,
Stardom.
Yeah, and then even WOW, that's in America. I look at WOW, like I'm a wrestling fan all over the board. So when I do see different guys and girls that I've seen from here go to different levels, like AEW or a WWE or Impact, just to see kind of like where they come from, to even just seeing them on TV, even if it's for a couple minutes, I'm like, man, that's hard. You know what I'm saying?
Are there.
Like that's hard to me, bro. Like I really like that, man. And I just like I said, I'm an overall wrestling fan. I'm a fan of yours.
I appreciate it, bro.
Oh yeah. And
can I ask why?
Bro, so when I first saw you, I was like, let me see what he about. Let me see what he gonna do.
Yeah.
And as you was in the ring, I was like, oh crap, man, wait a minute. I was like, wait a minute, hold on, I think they got something right here, because we critique we critique the shows, you know what I'm saying? So, and I'm like, man, I think he gonna be something, man. He give him a little time, let him see where he at. He gonna be something. And you athletic, hell of a drop kick. And then it's just like watching other matches, and then what put the stamp on it, like I said, when I saw you up north wrestling, that put the stamp on it.
I feel you, bro.
And it put the identity, like I said, like the identity, like I was like, oh man, that heel character is it.
I appreciate
That's
bro.
it. That's it. Like if I was a wrestler, I want to be a heel.
Mm-hmm.
I would want to be a heel.
I mean, sometimes because we don't really get to see the bad guy win a lot.
That's cool. But see, what I like about it is though, is that like I even play wrestle with my kids. You know what I'm saying, when they want to wrestle around. Yeah. But I'm always the bad guy. Dad's gonna be the bad guy. I put him in a headlock and I act like, we got my kids, they the audience. I'm like, huh? Yeah, you like that? They like, they boo me and stuff. Oh, you booing me, huh? Well, boo this, You
already a hit.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I remember I went viral on TikTok. I suplexed my daughter at the beach. I got a couple. Yeah, she got jackhammered at the beach. Yeah, I got about 100,000 views on that. That was crazy, but yeah, man, I'll definitely be a heel, bro.
That's what's up.
So let me get back to you right quick. So outside of wrestling, I know you're a sports fan. Of course, former basketball player, on the college level. Outside of wrestling, how do you feel about this upcoming season for the NBA?
I think that the NBA season this year is going to be special as usual. You know what I mean? Like, it's funny how dramatic basketball has gotten. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, even free agency, how many big deals were made that just was turned into this TMZ saga? Like, bro,
when I started seeing the money, I was like, wait a minute. I was like,
the money coming in, the 2-year, $80 million.
Oh man, I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Man, dude, it's a beautiful, thing in the NBA right now, or era in the NBA right now, because dudes are getting paid.
Yeah.
I feel like the era of dynasties are over. I think Golden State, is the last dynasty we're gonna see for a while. And no one is the clear favorite to win this year, which in any NBA season is a great, it sucked when we all knew, oh yeah, the Warriors got it. But I can only imagine if you weren't a Bulls fan, you got sick of.
I was sick of Golden State for a while. And I started getting sick of Cleveland when LeBron went back. I was just like, but
listen, this NBA season, I definitely will say, gonna be entertaining. We'll see what my Knicks do this year. We see, what the defending champs do this year. We see, it's a lot of stories to plug and play.
Oh, you're a Knicks fan, huh? I ain't gonna lie, man. I was real happy for this is like one of the best seasons they had in a long time, man. So I was really happy for them about that.
New York Infirmary. When they're dropping like flies. But it's cool though.
Yeah.
Picked up Bridges.
A lot of people
We're gonna make some noise. I'm excited this year.
A lot of people laugh at my team, but it's cool.
You're not gonna say your team?
Oh man.
They're that bad. You don't
Sorry, Houston, don't get mad at me, but I am an Orlando Magic fan.
I mean, y'all made the playoffs this year.
Hey man,
I took Cleveland to a game 7.
Look, I've been a fan of them,
but I'm sorry
when Dwight went.
that might be worse for me in the Knicks.
Hey man, I'm a ride or die. I'm a ride or die Orlando Magic, man. So it is what it is.
We don't gotta get into specifics, but
yeah. Next topic.
We don't gotta get into specifics, bro.
So how do you feel about Clay going to Dallas, bro?
I feel like it's what Clay needed, because even watching him after, I think his last injury was the ACL injury. So just watch him play basketball, like he didn't look giddy anymore.
Yeah.
The 2-year stretch after, that injury, he came back, won a championship either that year or that next year, I can't remember. But, after the punch that heard around the world, I think that, watching Clay and just the Warriors dynasty in general, kind of the spirit just dwindle after that.
Yeah.
Poole's number go down. Like, Draymond, you see he's salt and peppered up.
Oh,
if
my
you watch
goodness.
his interviews, it's
Draymond.
like, Clay, man, Clay used to be happy. Like, he looked happy when I tuned in the Warriors game. So I definitely just hope that, and it's a piece that Dallas needed too.
Yeah, they definitely needed that, man.
Y'all definitely needed another 3-and-D.
They got Luka, Kyrie, and then they got Clay,
Lively, Gafford,
and then
Clay,
Pete,
Tim Hardaway. You kept
who's the was it PJ Washington? That's it.
PJ Washington from Kentucky. Yeah, y'all got Derrick Jones.
Ooh, man.
Hey, we gonna see.
Okay, the next question for us, basketball. How you feel about Bronny, man, with the Lakers, man? How you feel about that situation?
Back to the media, I think that we as fans put way too much pressure on this kid, just like the fans did his dad. But he's a second-round draft pick, so I'm not really putting no expectations on him. He missed his whole summer before his freshman year because he had open heart surgery. He's really, even conditioning-wise, training-wise, heart surgery is no joke.
Oh, for sure.
Like, your cardio is everything in sport of basketball. The average basketball player runs about 5.5 miles a game.
Yeah.
So if you don't have a heart, regardless of whatever you're doing, let alone playing NBA, in Pac-12 basketball, like, anyway, because he's LeBron James' son, I feel like the spotlight obviously is magnified on him.
Yeah.
And there really shouldn't be as much pressure on him to be rookie of the year or start for the Lakers on opening night than of that, because of what he has to prepare for the NBA season. You know what I mean? Like, granted, he's a second-round draft pick. He's 19 years old. Let's see what he does in the G League. Let's see what he does, and figuring out who he wants to be as a basketball player in general, because he didn't really have that good of a freshman year at USC.
Yeah.
So I'm encouraging fans to just let Bronny rock for the second round pick. Let him figure it out.
Yeah, I think he'll be all right. He just got to find his flow. He'll be all right. Man.
Sit back, watch Pops work for a year, go to practice and work out with him every day. In terms of like when you get up, more just watch the greatest of all time. Debatably, I think he is, but debatably, work.
Yeah.
Translate that to your career. Like, you got LeBron James as your father, so, and you're a Laker.
Yeah, I mean, so, LA, man.
But then it's LA.
Yeah, so for sure. So back to the wrestling right quick. Right now, whether it be indie or mainstream, who do you have a favorite male wrestler?
Do I have a favorite male wrestler, indies or mainstream? Not necessarily, because I'm just such a student. Like, I'm a fan of the sport, but also on the same time, I'm just such a student that I study everybody. Like, I watch everybody, everything. I don't really necessarily got favorites. I just got appreciation for great talent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even at Row, even at the next level. Like, if you look at what's going on in all these promotions right now, from whatever's going on in Japan to whatever's going on in Europe to whatever's going on here in the States with all the different promotions we have, even now in the Caribbean, like, we just have so much going on that it's hard for me to be like, my favorite. I get a new favorite every week.
Yeah.
For real. But like, obviously, like, you got your legends that you grew up love watching. Like, I was a big, as I say, Undertaker fan. I was a big Randy Orton guy. Was a big post Ruthless Aggression era. That HD era.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, that HD era. That's my era. So all those guys who are in their prime, I grew up a big fan of. But like, now since I've transitioned to actually being in the business, it's more so now, okay, how can I be ready for them?
Gotcha.
I'm a fan of everyone who's established. You know what I mean? I don't really necessarily got favorites, because that's where I'm trying to be. I'm trying to have this become a salary job, have this, become a legacy, have this
You're going to get there, man.
Have this become something special, something that my grandkids and other kids.
Oh, that's that generational wealth right there, man.
Not even wealth, generational impact.
Got you.
Just
I got
like,
you. I meant to say that, but you know.
No, I got what you mean, but like the impact in the sense of so many people impacted me and you through wrestling through a TV screen.
Dude, I was just about to tell you who I was about to talk
Through a
about.
box.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
you know who before we got here, you know who's the was one of my favorite. Well, he still is one of my favorite wrestlers.
Yeah.
But I liked him more. I like him now, but that made me be like, that's my favorite wrestler. For what he did was R-Truth when he was running the Truth Killings in TNA.
TNA.
He was the first black
NWA World Champion.
yes.
Yep.
And I got that belt specifically because it for him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I liked his character then. He wasn't doing too much dancing. He was like straight on that mean streak.
Yep.
And he beat like legends. I think he beat like Scott Hall, Mr. Perfect, who's a Ken Shamrock.
Yep.
You know, so I was like, dang, I wish
TNA was not the talent was.
Yeah. But I'm just like the
back
fact
then.
that he beat those legends. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I was like, man, I wish that he was his character in WWE. But
Right.
you know how it go. But
I mean, in general though, because watching wrestling as a growing up a black kid, it just representation for me was starting to be on the come up. You know what I mean? Like one of my first world champion wins that I saw was Mark Henry pinning Randy Orton at Night of Champions.
yeah, that was dope.
Like, and then the speech afterwards, like no one's taking this from me. I didn't really know much about sexual chocolate and nation and domination before that, but me watching that at like 8, 9, was like, yo, this is dope. Like, you know what I mean? It goes full circle, like you said, like getting to pick his brain 15 years later, something like that. It just goes to show you, like, whatever God got in store for you.
Oh yeah, for
is
sure.
going to be in store for you.
It's definitely.
But like back to the topic on representation, like, for a while the U.S. belt was the the African American title. Like that was
for sure. We definitely had that belt.
That was the belt. That was our world championship.
Yeah.
So like to see, I think this summer, what do we have in TV productions? Probably 8, 9 world champions, tag champions, mid card champions, world champions. Like it's back on the come up. Like we back on the representation.
Back on the come
in terms of just the boom is wrestling right now. It's really cool to see. It's really cool to be a part of, and there's really no better time. Which is why you see I work as much as I do.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Look at some of the names, you know what I mean, who are signed talent. Even at Reality Wrestling, like that, whose roster spot I'm coming for.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I didn't come here to waste my time.
Nah.
So unfortunately, somebody's roster spot is going to be taken. But
that's what come with it.
It's business. It's the executive decision. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah. Got you. Got you.
You feel me?
So before we get out of here, 2 things. Do you want to? Is there something you want to let the world know? Any positive messages, and also let them know your handles.
Man. I know you got one more question. You got it. I know I ain't tight on time. You got one more.
Let me see.
You in a rush? I ain't in a rush.
Let me see. Well, I mean, we almost at our time.
I'm trolling you. That's it.
Yeah, you definitely was trolling. I was like,
I'll go.
But no, you got any positive messages?
I would just say that hearken. I would just say that if you got a dream, I didn't know this was gonna even be such a thing as a dream. Like, once again, how do you get into wrestling? How do you, take that leap of faith, man? I would say if you got a dream, no matter what it is, just do it. Yeah. Like one thing, a Booker quote, right? If you don't try it, you're gonna regret it. And there's nothing worse than regretting something. You know what I mean? Like, definitely, you got a dream, whether it's occupation you always wanted to do, a girl you always wanted to talk to, opportunity that you wanted to take, whatever the case may be, you got that gut feeling, take it. And go get what's yours. This world is big, you know what I mean? You're not going to be able to see if you're the best unless you test yourself against the best, no matter what it is, wrestling aside. So get out there, keep doing the work, keep being you, stay true to yourself. I know I'm speaking to someone out there, for real, but that's all I got to say in that regard. But big fall, big 2025 coming soon. This has been a dope summer for me in my career. I would just really want to thank all my vets, Reality Wrestling, Wrestling Open, everybody for making this summer happen. But, we got a lot more work to do.
Yeah,
so it's up from here in that standpoint. Please be on the lookout. Like I told, third time saying in this interview, I didn't really come here to play my game. Excuse me, to play any games. You know what I mean? Houston, Texas.
Yeah,
didn't really come in. Didn't really come in to play any games. Like it's really, it's time. I feel it. I know you feel it, and I know I trust my work. I trust my work ethic, and I'm ready to really just take this thing by storm.
You'll let them know what follow you on
Yeah,
social?
man. The Real Wynters at Instagram, QSL212 on Twitter. YouTube pending.
It's coming soon.
I'm getting in the game. But yeah, like I said, I appreciate you and
I appreciate you, man.
Like this has been really, really dope.
Yeah,
you know, big propaganda,
man.
Big tapped in.
Thank you, man.
I definitely wanted to thank you a lot for giving me a platform.
Oh yeah, we definitely gonna have you back, man. I definitely appreciate you, man. Hey man, before we get out of here, man, just let y'all know, man, please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. Appreciate everyone for rocking with us, all our supporters, fans. Y'all see us out there in any shows, man. Just come up to us. My guys. Pull up on us, man.
Pull up on us.
Thank you again. We got the executive decision in the middle.
Go out there, go get it. Whatever you got in mind.
Get it, man. I'm Mikey Man, Start of Facts. Hey man, and catch y'all on the next one.